You're watching ZTV.
Hello, dear ones, and welcome to Testimony Tuesday. This is Z. I hope you're having a wonderfully blessed day. Today is actually Friday, November 28th, 2014, and I've been in this season of intercession now for about 2 weeks exactly. And the Lord has been doing the most amazing things, just wonderful things. And I wanted to record this right now. I just came out of worship, and it was so beautiful. I've been praying on the hour every hour, and for almost a full day now. I'm almost at 24 hours, but I had these. I've been having these visions during my little 10 minutes of worship, and so when I was worshiping before in the last hour, I had this vision of being in a dark place and then seeing the lampstand. So when I finished worshiping, I looked that up, and of course, the golden lampstand was in Exodus 25 when the tabernacle was being established. And where was that at? That's in the Holy of Holies. So the Lord was showing me that my worship was ushering me into the most holy place. Such a wonderful experience. So magnificent. You have no idea until you get in worship with the Lord. And every worship experience with Him is different. It's never the same. He brings you in and shows you different things, gives you different revelation, all kind of stuff to help you break through. If you're not really praying and seeking the Lord toward this end of the year so that your 2015 can be fantastic, stop what you're doing. Like the little extra stuff that you're doing, and use that time to worship instead and plow your soil for 2015. You can have a fantastic year if you decide to. You don't have to fight all the battles next year that the enemy would like to bring to you. You can take care of a lot of that stuff right now. And I'm doing that right now. And I have a prayer partner that's doing that with me. And of course, Patty's going with me too, because we're in covenant. But, speaking of that, before I move on to the next thing, I entered into a new covenant, a double rainbow covenant with the Lord today also. So if you want to come into a covenant with me, make sure you watch that video and come into a covenant and join that group with me. And I'm going to lead you through some prayer and breakthrough through to the end of the year. It's really powerful. Listen, the last time I did a covenant with a group of people, some amazing things happened. And that 90-day covenant that I did in the summer of 2014 brought my husband to me. So that's how powerful those covenants and times of prayer with another person are. So don't miss this. Don't miss it. Don't skip it. If you watch the video and the Lord tugs on your heart, dude, you need to get into that covenant. You need to get into that covenant, because at the end of it, He's going to bring you something amazing. And the great thing about God is it's never just a one-time thing. It's always like when He leads you into revelation and breakthrough, it's always for years and months and days and just into your future generations and all kind of stuff, because He thinks about right now, back in the past, and all the way into the future, all at the same time. Okay, so I just finished worship in this last time. So the worship that I had before, I entered into the Holy of Holies, and this time I'm worshiping and worshiping and just loving on the Lord. And I see if I'm looking forward, it's going to be up above, it would be my right hand. There's this warrior king, like he's dressed in armor, but he also, like, you can tell he's a king. And it's not like, you know how sometimes you've seen the king go into battle when you've watched a movie. Like I can think of Gladiator and how Marcus Aurelius was dressed as a king and also warrior in his army, but he also had on his purple cape, not cape, but robe. But it wasn't like that. It was like you look at him for 1 second and he'd be dressed as a majestic king, and you look at him another second and he's this fantastic warrior. So it wasn't like he was dressed in armor and then had on the robe. He was like both and the other, and them individually at the same time. Just, you know how God can do things like that. He can do, two things at one time, even though we can't. So it was just beautiful to behold, and just, like the worship and the praise that comes out of your mouth and stuff like that. You're like, and you wonder how David wrote all those Psalms. Well, that's how, because he's in that secret place worshiping with the Lord, and the Lord puts that stuff down in your spirit. This is what worshiping in spirit and truth is, and it just flows out of you. So I'm just speaking these most beautiful things to Him, that He's placed in my spirit. They just come out of my mouth based on what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling and experiencing at the time. And I'm just worshiping Him and glorifying Him. And then I look to the left and I see this huge battlefield, and all the heavenly hosts are lined up and in a array for battle, and it's so beautiful. And I just know in my spirit that the next thing I need to do is to release the sound so that the battle can begin. So that's what I'm praying for over this next hour, is that the Lord will just release the sound in my spirit that I need to bring forth and birth so that the battle can begin. Because the battlefield is set, the hosts of heaven are ready to go and fight on my behalf and bring the breakthrough that I need. And I just need that sound to say, yes, the battle is going to start. Yes, it's time to get into battle. Yes, it's time to put out your weapons and run forward and take down the enemy. And the great thing is that we always win. The Lord always wins. He's not a loser. He's not lost one battle, and he never have. So it's just a beautiful thing to behold and to see that he's lined up an entire battlefield on my behalf. Because of my prayer and worship, he has set up a complete army who's ready to go forth and take territory from me in the spiritual so that I can take territory in the natural. Woo! Now, if you're not experiencing this, you need to get there. Please get there. Don't miss out on all of these wonderful things that the Lord has for you. Receive your complete victory in Christ. It's available to you. It is yours. All right. I bless you in Jesus' name. Thank you so much for allowing me to share this testimony with you. I pray that it inspires you to jump into deep worship with him. You don't even understand. This is like one of probably 13 to 15 experiences that I've had with the Lord just today. That's what worshiping, being in a constant state of worship does for you. Like a lot of times people are like, well, I experienced God at some point at this time in my life, and I experienced him at some point in this time. You should be experiencing him all the time. He's been hanging out with me for like a few weeks now, but specifically this week because of my fasting and because of my constant praying, and he's always there to confirm and show signs and wonders and all this stuff, and just the miracles and the things that have happened. You have no idea. I called Patty real quickly in between some worship and in between receiving testimonies today, just sharing to her all the stuff the Lord has been doing, all the stuff the Lord has been doing. She's like, wow, 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 wow. And I'm like, I know. Can you believe it? The Lord, he's just so wonderful. He's just so amazing. You should be breaking through. You should be breaking through. He is the God of breakthrough. That's one of his redemptive names, is to be the God of breakthrough. In Micah says, I know you are the breaker. You are the God who breaks through. That's one of his names. His names tell us what he does. They tell us about his character. Get with him and let him bring breakthrough to your life. Let him bring breakthrough to your life. It's so interesting as a mentor. That's one of the things that I do, is I help people break through. I do use a lot of my educational training and research about how the brain works and how the brain learns, and strategies to help you really understand concepts and things like that. And the Lord supernaturally downloads specific ways to explain things to specific people so that they get real understanding and not just surface understanding. That's one of the things he gifted me to be able to do when he placed the anointing for teaching on me. So I use those things in mentoring, but I also have this spiritual connection that helps me go higher. Like the things that I can't see and understand to help you get breakthrough in the natural, I can ask the Lord and he shows me how to help you get breakthrough. I know there are a lot of people out there who need breakthrough. And the reason for this is because they keep coming to me to get it. That's how I know. And obviously I know how to get it because people keep coming and they keep sending other people with them. I have some great mentoring specials over on zsolvesproblems.com. Click over there, sign up for those mentoring packages. Set up before December 31st because the prices will increase, because I'm going to have to cut down on the number of people that I can service each month. I just don't have the time because I want everybody to get the best. You cannot afford to go into 2015 like having big gaps of failure in your life. Like, especially if you're over 30, you got to stop that now, especially if you have children, because the enemy in this day and age, they are going to eat your children alive if you don't have the gaps in your wall covered. If you don't have the gaps in your wall sealed up, know that the enemy is coming in there to get them. If you don't believe me, look at all the foolishness about kids getting shot and kids doing this and all this stuff that's been going on in the last, 6 months. That stuff is only going to increase because the media feeds it. That brings in fear, and that gives the enemy the right to rule and reign. So if you don't know how to rise above that, well, unfortunately, you're going to continue to perish for lack of knowledge. And that's not God's desire, and that's sure not my desire. I lived as an idiot for so long. You have no idea how excited I am to not be stupid anymore. That's why I'm always testifying and always sharing it. I know some people are like, I don't know why she's always saying she's God's favorite and stuff like that. You know what? You can be his favorite too if you are constantly in his presence, sitting in his lap, in his face, saying, show me, show me, show me the path of life. That's Psalm 16:1. Show me the path of life. Show me the path of life. Show me the path of life. You get in the habit of doing that, you're going to be his favorite too. You're going to have all these stories of breakthrough. You're going to have all these stories of deliverance. You're going to be moving higher and being elevated and having all these beautiful visions and experiences and things like that too, because that's what he desires for you. He wants you to be able to break through into his realm. Your realm is not where he dwells. He's a heavenly being. He wants you to come up to where he is. He doesn't want to be slumming down here on earth. He wants to elevate you so that when you're on earth, you're carrying heaven with you and you're breaking through, and people around you are getting breakthrough too, just because it's bouncing off of you and slapping them in the face. All right, let me let you go. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. I bless you in Jesus' name. And I just release the spirit of worship on you. Receive it by faith. All right. Bye-bye.